Welcome to the Pulse of Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And today's show is sponsored by the Dream Project. You can find out more information from our friends at the Dream Project at the link at the bottom of your screen. And we are back outside. The wind is blowing. And we have somebody who usually blows a lot of hot air, but today is just going to give you nothing but the truth. And that is our political analyst, Josh Sotomayor Einstein. Josh, how are you today, sir?
Despite the company, it's good to be here today.
Well, nice to see you too. Not anyway. Josh, there was an election earlier this week. We spoke about it at great length last week, and unfortunately you were not victorious at the polls on Tuesday in your Republican committee race for Ward 6, District 7 in the city of Hoboken. You did tie at the polls. It's important to know you did tie at the polls 12-12, but after all the vote by mails were counted, you did lose 15-12. Is there anything you want to say about the race? Or
well, so it's interesting that you talked about hot air before, because my opponent and the victor at the polls is totally full of hot air. And for the people in my district and for all the voters, whether they're Republicans, Democrats, or independents across Hoboken, I'd like to personally apologize for allowing Joe Bronco a platform with which I'm sure he will annoy everyone as. Now, you got to keep in mind that Bronco is only one of many Republican county committee members in our city of Hoboken. And he's not going to be able to take over the municipal GOP, even though he's going to keep on saying that he's the chairperson or that he's the leader, as he and his patron that also works for the Democrats, Jose Arango, the useless county Republican chairperson, has already done.
And I think it's important that we mention to the audience, Josh ran off the line. I mean, as everybody knows who follows any type of politics, especially here in Hudson County, the line controls who a specific candidate is going to be in the general election and a specific winner in every case. And Josh tied Joe at the polls. And I think that says a lot of how you worked going door to door. But I think it's important you brought up Jose Arango. And of course, he is still the Hudson County Republican chair. And there's been a lot of talk about if you were not going to be victorious in your committee seat, if you were still going to run against Mr. Arango for county chair. Are you?
Well, yes. And I always knew going into it, running off the line in a primary, whether it's in the county committee or for any position, you don't have a great chance of winning. But just because the struggle is hard doesn't mean you give up. And also, just because you lose one battle doesn't mean you give up the war. So the war to make the Hudson County Republican organization actually Republican again continues. There's dozens and dozens of Republican county committee candidates that were recently elected that got involved because they want to have an actual Republican voice, because they don't like that the Republican Party in Hudson County under Arango works for the Democrats, and they want a more active group that doesn't just meet once every 2 years to coronate Arango. So, the election was never about me per se. I'm just the figurehead, and I'm the one that's not afraid to say the things that I've said in the mailers that I've sent to county committee candidates, whether they were with me or, whether they were just, people that have been there for decades. Because there's a lot of good people who've been involved for years who just haven't felt empowered by Arango's brand of let's work for the Democrats all the time. And they need to see the difference between what I've done and what many good people in the Hoboken Republican Committee and the Hispanic Republicans of North Jersey and the Hudson County Young Republicans have done, and what Arango has done, which includes a history of drunk driving, doesn't live, the fact that he doesn't actually live in Hudson County, and his barely literate press releases and public statements, including coronating Joe Bronco as the chair of the Hoboken Municipal Republican Committee, when it's up to the Hoboken Republicans to elect who will be their chairperson. I mean, this guy just makes up the rules as he goes, and when he's not doing that, he's going to Democratic fundraisers. So, the long story short,
both of them are, both Mr. Bronco and Mr. Arango.
Oh yeah, well, Bronco, who's pretending that he's a Republican now, was actually spotted just last week at Democrat Mayor, Jersey City Mayor rather, Stephen Fulop's fundraiser over in
Who's
Jersey
a Democrat?
City.
You had it right.
And and it's not just, people say the excuse that our BOE, Board of Education, our city council, and our mayor races in Hudson County are nonpartisan. Well, there's two facts to remember. One, the Democrats, those in your party, don't treat it like it's nonpartisan.
And excuse me, I am a proud Democrat, unlike Mr. Bronco, who's shifting with this wind here at the pier.
So they push all the progressive left-wing stuff that they do in partisan races on the local level, and B, they use it to raise up. And if you look at they use it to rise to partisan political office. Look at Stephen Fulop. You know, he was thinking about running for Senate when Menendez was looked like he was going to go to jail, and then he was in the shadow war for the gubernatorial nomination in the Democrats with state Senate leader Steve Sweeney from the Democrats until Phil Murphy came in with his money bags and bought the nomination.
No, absolutely. So if you're a resident of the 6th Ward, 7th District, your home district where you ran for Republican committee, you're supposed to have a Democratic representative committee man and a Republican representative committee man. Would you say that both committee representatives of both parties are Democrats now in your district?
Oh, 100%. And you see what happened in our district is, I mean, I knocked on doors. Everybody in the district knows that I knocked on doors and I did lit drops for 2 weeks, for hours in the scorching 90-degree heat. And it was a great time to talk not just to Republicans, but also to independents that lean to my side of the aisle, and even some moderate conservative Democrats that was just, you know, we don't see eye to eye, but it was great to have a fun conversation, kind of like the ones we have, but with less insults towards each other.
We don't insult each other.
But yeah, any viewer knows that's not true. But the fact of the matter is not only did Bronco, the Democrat operative who became a Republican just to try to take over the Hoboken Republicans, not only did he have the county line, but Jose Arango, the useless county Republican chairperson that also works for the Democrats, had his biggest deployment for an election ever by bringing about 8 people to knock on doors for Bronco to tell Republican voters in the district to vote down the line. Now, Arango, in the whole time he's been county chairperson, which is over a decade, has never sent 8 people anywhere to knock on Republican doors for any election to get any Republican elected. But when it came to knocking out an actual Republican, that's what he tried to do.
That's exactly what he did.
And I may get knocked out, but like that song, I get up again.
And he's certainly going to get up. Now, the Hudson County Republican County Committee meeting was supposed to be held on Tuesday, June 15th, and it is now pushed because of state law to Tuesday, June 29th. So we'll put that new date on the bottom of your screen. I mean, Jose Arango is out on Facebook, as you said, sometimes not really making a whole lot of sense, basically claiming victory for Hudson County. But there is no victory for him until this county committee meeting, correct?
Yeah, well, so Arango has like 3 types of communication. 1 where he's endorsing Democrats or spending Republican money on Democrats. 2 where it's like, what do those words say? It's word salad. And 3 where he's saying things that are counterfactual, i.e. lies. So for example, the 3rd one, you know, when he announces on social media that Bronco is the chair or the leader of the Hoboken Municipal Republican Committee, or when he says that they won all the seats, you know, it's just factually incorrect. It's a sad attempt at fake it till you make it, and it's rather pathetic. And the people in the Republican Party in Hudson County that want to have a Hudson GOP that's actually a Republican, they're coming for you, buddy.
And by the way, we have stated all the facts, but if Mr. Arango believes that we are not stating the facts here on the show, because we've heard some snippets from people who he's been talking to. So, Mr. Arango, I know you're watching. You and I have always had a cordial relationship. You're more than welcome to come on the Pulse with Peter B. I mean, even if you're too scared to debate Josh before the county committee, what is it, I guess? Reorganization meeting, excuse me, on June 29th. You're more than welcome to come here and sit down with us. And if there's something that you believe is factually incorrect, please do so. Please reach out to us. We will put our email address right at the bottom of the screen, which is thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. Heck, you are my friend on Facebook. Reach out, DM me on Facebook, Mr. Arango, because I don't think anything we've said is factually incorrect, and many of your posts on social media have been. Josh, anything to add?
Well, it's nice that you mentioned the idea, or it's a good idea rather, that you mentioned having a debate. So in addition to the invitation that Peter made to you, I'll invite you. Let's give the Hudson County Republican Committee men and women a debate. You've been leader for over 10 years and you have 0 to show for it. Prove me wrong. Let's have a debate. Ball's in your court.
2 invitations there. Well, Josh Sotomayor Einstein, our political analyst, every week here on the Post. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
There you go. You're welcome. Folks, when we come back, we have our sports segment with a fresh guest host and our sports insider, Eric Cruz. You're not going to want to miss it. We will be right back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook and our Instagram pages by searching The Pulse with Peter B. and like and follow us on each of those platforms. We're constantly updating those pages with previews of each week's segments and cool stories. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our email address at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com.
Welcome back to The Pulse with Peter B. I'm guest host Nicolette Ayala, and joining us is our sports industry insider, Eric Cruz.
Hey.
Eric, how are you?
I'm doing great. How
It's
you
good
doing?
to see you. Good to see you. Glad we're on the pier. It's
Yes.
nice warm weather. So we're here. We're going to talk about the NFL, and we are going to talk about the New York Jets and the New York Giants. Kind of like what they've been doing the off season as far as the trade. How did that go down? What to expect for this upcoming season, and any sleeper teams, any sleeper players that we can think of. So
Yeah.
figure we just jump right in. Let's talk about the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
During the offseason, they did acquire Kenny Galladay, and of course, from Florida, Kadarius Toney. So let's talk about that. How do you think that's going to roll out with everything?
I think that's going to be great. Kenny Galladay coming from Detroit, Tony being their first-round draft picks. They wanted to give Daniel Jones some weapons, something that he didn't really have last year. Team him up with Ingram, put some Sterling Shepard in there. That offense is set to be off. They get Saquon back. And I think the Giants, with the offseason moves that they made, they really, shored up a lot of their question marks as far as playmakers. One thing that concerns me with the Giants is that they're going in with a very inexperienced offensive line. 3 out of their 5 starters are going to be guys that they drafted just last year.
Right.
So
rebuilding, baby.
yeah. So they're going to be really counting on that team, the offensive line, to get real good chemistry and to really get a good flow going
Right.
to help Daniel Jones out.
Right. Exciting. Okay. Do you want to flip to the Jets then? And that way we could do it kind of like that. We'll
Yeah,
go.
sure.
Yeah, we'll go to the Jets. So now Jets, we got Zach Wilson, quarterback. We got Michael Carter, running back. Let's talk about that. And Tevin Coleman, running back. So how do you think, as far as the Jets wise, that's going to look for them?
I think for the Jets, with the new coaching staff, they're going to go in there with a good mindset to protect Zach Wilson. Right off the bat.
Right.
In the draft, they also drafted offensive lineman Vita Tucker.
Right. That's
So
right.
they're gonna really prioritize and taking care of Zach Wilson. As far as their free agency is concerned, they really got in a couple of guys that they're gonna come in and fill the holes. Their defense was they weren't the worst, but they had a lot of spots on their
Missing,
defense.
yeah, of
where they
course,
weren't really
missing
healthy
pieces that
and
they
they weren't
needed.
playing too well. Let's just leave it at that. But
Right.
with the Jets, I think they're going to be a mindset team. With that coaching staff going in there,
course,
the
Rob
head
Saleh,
coach
yep,
coming from
yep.
San Francisco, who
Yep.
everybody knows that was a tough team. That mindset coming over to the Jets. And to prioritize Zach Wilson, I think that's going to help the Jets, and I think that they could really ride out a good season if they play their cards right.
Absolutely. All right, so now let's talk about key positions that really you think they're going to focus on next season.
With the Jets,
We'll go start with Jets and then we'll flip back to Giants.
Yeah, they're going to really start with Zach Wilson. They're going to throw him into the fire right off the rip. So
Right.
I think that's going to be their main focus. As far as team-wise,
Right.
again, they had a lot of missing pieces. They try to fill it in with free agency. And the coaching staff, I think that they're going to really try to focus more on mindset, especially right now in OTAs.
Right.
So when they get into training camp, it's so systems go. But for me, the Jets and Zach Wilson and making sure that offensive line is really in cahoots is priority number 1 for them.
Good. And now flip back to the Giants.
Same thing,
Okay.
offensive line. I mean, they're getting, again, Saquon back. They got a lot of weapons.
Right.
Defensively, they're really good. So they were top 5, top 10 last year in defense in most of the categories. So
Right.
I think the Giants' focus is going to be the offensive line. really making sure those guys are working together. And Daniel Jones again, this is his big year. This
Right,
is
that's it.
make or break for Daniel Jones, you know. And now he's got really no excuses. He's got a lot of weapons. He's got the tight ends. They got Kyle Rudolph from Minnesota. He's an underrated player that's coming over for them. He's going to help out Saquon in that running game. So I think the Giants and the Jets really have similar positions where they're focusing on.
Right,
So,
absolutely, absolutely. So now let's talk quickly about, you know, what to expect for, I guess, now that you mentioned, you know, OTAs going on in the summer. What else do you think they're going to improve on, kind of thing like that?
I think, to me, it's a lot of chemistry for both teams.
Right.
You know, with the Jets last year, they didn't trust their coach.
Right.
A lot of media attention, negativity coming out of that locker room.
Right.
So for me, it's really just chemistry. It's OTAs. This is where they're really working. The rookies are in camp.
Right.
You know, the veterans are in camp. So they're really getting the
Coming
playbook down.
together and,
Yeah, this is the most
absolutely.
critical time, I believe, because once training camp starts going, it's
do
no
or
holds
die,
barred.
that's
It's
it.
got to
Exactly.
go. Yeah,
All
playbook's
in.
full effect, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's quickly talk about some sleeper teams, you know, for this upcoming season. You know, actually, I should just ask, instead of teams, if you want to play it like that, who do you think is the sleeper team that everyone should kind of look out for?
There's so many, really. You got so many guys that are going to new places.
Right.
You know, but for me, it's going to be the Tennessee Titans. A
Absolutely.
playoff team last year. Defensively weren't good, but with the offense just getting Julio Jones, big news, you know, for a second-round
Absolutely.
pick.
You got Ryan Tannehill. of
Ryan
course.
Tannehill,
Listen,
Derrick
do not
Henry.
count out Ryan Tannehill.
I like Ryan. He really, you know,
Absolutely.
talk about like an Alex Smith type of career.
Yep.
You know, going from Miami to
Right.
Tennessee and just reviving his career and taking off. He's going to be all right. I think the Titans are going to be a good team.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, if you had to choose, you know, of course, you know, you want to play it safe. You don't want to answer. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Between the Giants and the Jets, who do you think is more of a sleeper? Or who do you think is going to come out prevailing?
I think the Giants are.
Giants? Okay.
Yeah, I think the Giants are because they're a little bit more seasoned.
Okay.
I think their offensive line again is their main focus, but Kenny Galladay is such a playmaker.
Yes,
Hopefully he stays
absolutely.
healthy, and they got
Saquon
they got guys.
also, you know, Saquon.
He's
listen, when
he's going to be
healthy,
hungry.
Great. Yeah,
He's going to be so
absolutely.
hungry coming off a knee injury.
Absolutely.
He's going to be good. I think the Giants are going to come out, but the Jets aren't going to be too far behind. I really
Absolutely.
think that they'll turn it around fast.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about.
I don't know. Who do you think is going to come out, Jets or Giants?
Ooh. I don't know. I don't know.
They're
Listen,
both-
I'm a
they're both-
Patriot. Everybody,
they're
you know,
both
I'm
middle
a
pack.
Pats fan, so.
Listen, I'm a Houston fan. We got a lot of
Yeah,
problems too. So.
yeah. No, listen, no, I know. You know, I'll say the Jets. I'll say the Jets.
All right, that's good. All right, so Giants, Jets.
There
You
go.
heard it first. You'll
That's
see. You'll
it.
see who's going to come out.
Yes, yes. All right, folks, we'll be right back.
Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching the Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. Peter Biancamano back in the host chair, and thank goodness that we had Nicolette Ayala. Really didn't have any plans tonight because Daria DeLucia couldn't show up tonight, Krista Stucchio couldn't show up tonight, and we got a special delivery, Nicolette. You're our acting food insider today.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I know, it was just a quick switch of the seat, that's all.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry,
Exact-
girls.
Well, yeah. Hopefully they come back soon because Impasto's Pizzeria, located at 102 Washington Street, was nice enough to cook for us tonight. Dinner is served, Nicolette.
Let's go. Let's
Exactly.
eat.
So
Let's
quick-
feast.
Oh, let's feast. I absolutely love it. Quick update on Impasto's Pizzeria. They actually just changed owners, I believe about a year ago.
Okay.
We did cover them at the Pizza Fest, and right as we will put the highlight reel underneath. You know why, Nicolette? Because it pisses off Greg, and we love to piss off Greg on the show. Anyway, so we'll put the little highlight reel underneath here, but during the Pizza Fest was probably about a year ago. They were just opening up with new owners. They did not change the name, actually. They kept the name of the original owners, and we did talk to Blair today on the phone, and he couldn't be any more excited. And Blair, thank you for providing us with this wonderful food. So we have
Thanks,
about,
Claire.
exactly. So Nicolette, we have about, I would say 25 to 30 mile per hour winds today.
Yes.
So this is gonna be interesting. We have our napkins in hand. We are not gonna try to litter, I swear to God. But we have our first dish that Blair and Impastos Pizzeria prepared for us, and the awesome production assistant Ben's gonna bring it on over to me. Thank you so much, Ben.
Thanks,
He's
Ben.
shy, he doesn't want to be on camera, but he's awesome, I swear. And this is the Hoboken No Jokin' pie.
Ooh.
Why is it Hoboken No Jokin', Nicolette?
Maybe because of the awesome vodka sauce that's
right.
on there.
That is right.
It's so delicious.
What we have right now, folks, is a vodka Sicilian pie. Basically, it's a Sicilian or grandma, whatever you want to call it, pie
Right.
with vodka sauce instead of the traditional tomato or marinara sauce.
Correct.
Or tomato sauce, I should say, not marinara. And fresh mozzarella cheese on top.
Mozzarella.
Impastos Pizzeria, 102 Washington Street. Nicolette's gonna dive in for a slice, and as you
Whoa.
can see, I'm fighting these hurricane force winds here.
Wait, let's-
And we're going to. Oh,
no,
Nicolette!
no,
All right, here we go. Here we
turn
go.
it the
We
other
got
way.
this. All right. So Nicolette, we should eat a lot of this because our political analyst Josh Sotomayor Einstein is still here, and he can house this pie in less than 5 minutes. He tells
boy.
me.
Okay.
So, okay, you're grabbing the first slice. Are you more of a corner slice person? Go ahead.
Yes, I am. Mom, sorry, eating on camera. I'm a messy eater, everyone.
All right. Dig
Cheers.
it. Cheers. As we do it with the pie. I got it.
I
don't
got it?
worry.
Okay.
I got it. I think. We'll see. Oh, that's good. What do you like about it?
The thickness of the crust. I like the fact that it's not an overwhelmingly vodka sauce.
Nothing wrong.
Hold on, guys.
What? I gotta chew here. So here's what I like about it. It's very, like,
Thick.
you know, exactly. But it's also crispy, which is good. You can tell that they cooked it extremely well. And I took 2 huge bites on camera, so my mom is probably embarrassed right now. But also, look at the crust, how well done it is. Sometimes when you get a Sicilian type of slice, it's not cooked very well.
Right, it's messy.
Because they rush
Right,
it,
right.
exactly. But this is cooked
As I take
to a
another
T.
bite.
That vodka sauce, absolutely. Take your time. That vodka sauce is killer right now, correct? To use a line from Guy Fieri. Boy, Nicolette is speechless over here. I mean, we know that she doesn't want to, outshine Daria and Krista, but Impastos got her speechless right now.
And I'm not a huge vodka sauce in my pizza lover. I'm a
Right.
pizza lover, so
But this is good.
this is good.
This is. Oh, sorry. I thought you were just gonna finish eating it on
I'll
camera.
finish off camera. I'll
Off
finish it.
camera,
I'm
she's
gonna get
finish
messy.
it. Exactly. So we're gonna move this off to the side. Oh, thank you, sir. And we have our. Oh, the wind almost took that. And we have our next dish. And I said I'm not a litter bug, so this is the first time ever I'm gonna get up on camera. Oh, excuse me. Our wonderful cinematographer Greg makes sure that the napkin didn't go into the Hudson River. So, and by the way, didn't I tell you Josh was gonna start eating pizza?
Yeah.
What is he
As
doing
he's
off
eating
camera?
off camera.
I was going to say exactly. So now we won't say what he just did to us. All right. Our next item, Nicolette, is coming to you, and the wonderful Ben, our production assistant, is bringing it. And I believe this is called the Sinatra
Oof.
sub.
Thank you, Ben.
And look at the size of this
Oh my
Sinatra sub.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
All right, let's open it up. I know what's in it, but I want you to be surprised.
Ooh.
Oh wow, that looks absolutely delectable.
Oh wow. This
So
is.
that looks like a sandwich
Ooh.
with.
All right, so we got some
I'll hold
breaded chicken. No, it's okay. It's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I got some breaded chicken cutlet. We got some mozzarella. We got some prosciutto, tomato, arugula, and balsamic dressing.
Balsamic glaze, yeah.
Balsamic glaze. Look at this.
Look at
Look
that.
At this. Look at
That's
this.
chicken cutlet with fresh mozzarella, prosciutto, arugula, tomato, balsamic. Dig in. I'm just repeating it. And balsamic glaze. Impastos Pizzeria, 102 Washington Street. The new Impastos. She's flabbergasted, as she says.
Ooh.
Talk to me.
As I make a mess.
That's okay. As long as we're not littering, and folks, we are not littering, I swear.
So to me, I'm digging the bread, first of all. Not too hard, not too soft. Chicken cutlet. thinly sliced, which I love, because having thick cutlets in your sandwich is just not.
Right.
It's a lot. You know, it's overpowering. It's a lot.
Right. Can you get the different type of flavors in there with everything that's in there? Oh, sorry. Just getting that.
Hold on 1 second. Wow. I don't know how Daria and Krista do this on a daily. 'Cause I applaud you guys.
Wait a minute, but we were just at Pier 13 a few weeks ago
I
when you were
know.
eating on camera with Dara. Let's put another highlight reel up right now from our episode a few weeks ago at Pier 13.
Okay,
You're welcome, Greg.
so you can definitely taste the prosciutto. You can definitely taste the mozzarella. What I like about even more is the fact that the arugula is not overpowering. You know, sometimes you get in the sub, the arugula will be too much, where it kind of like overpowers the meat, the chicken, everything else. So everything's pretty much balanced in this, you know, Sinatra sub. And of course, we're in Hoboken. Hello. So
Right? You have to name it Sinatra.
absolutely. So
What would you give the sandwich? Give me a rating out of 10.
9.
9 out of 10, she says. That's
9.
what I like.
9. Just be, you know, I don't know if it's hot outside and it's like the bread's hot, but I feel like on a nice cool day, have this heated up, nice hot sub.
Beautiful. And
So,
in all fairness, the
perfect.
food has been sitting here for a few hours, so, you know, I mean, we will, you know, have to go back and try it, and I'm sure
No.
when you eat it right out of the fryer oven, whatever they do, it'll be a 10 out of 10.
No, I'm gonna take this home now.
She's gonna take it
I'm gonna take it home.
All
now.
right, what is we're gonna take that back. We're gonna hopefully, maybe Josh will eat this as well. I don't know.
No,
There's
no, no,
cheese
no,
on it,
Josh.
though,
No,
so
no, no, no.
We're gonna take this away. Perfect. What does every good meal have to end with?
Dessert.
Dessert.
Oh.
And what does Impossible's Pizzeria do? They take a traditional Italian dessert and they put a little bit of a twist on it. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, what dessert?
So we're gonna bring it over. These are cannolis, Nicolette.
Ooh, okay.
But these are Oreo cannolis, and I know you're a big Fruity Pebble fan. And this is
How does
a
he know?
Fruity Pebble cannoli. So as you can see, oh my God, this looks
Wow.
terrific. All right.
Look at this.
Here comes the grossest moment ever on the Postal Peter
Cheers.
when I bite into this Oreo cannoli
Oh,
without a napkin. Apparently, Nicolette has already massacred the poor cannoli. All right, I'm digging in.
Cheers.
Salud.
Oh man.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Oh my God, that's
Oh
good.
man.
I gotta tell you,
Okay.
I'm not
Go
even
ahead.
a cannoli
Me
fan.
neither. Me neither. But I will say, messy. You know, messiness.
Did you?
I have a napkin. Do
All
you
right,
need a
just making
napkin?
sure.
Do you have a
Yeah.
napkin? Do you
No,
need
don't
one?
worry. I'm just gonna lick my
Okay.
fingers. Why not? We're already gross.
Right,
on TV
exactly.
right now.
Love this.
How good is it?
Love
Why do you
this.
love it? Talk to me.
It has a little spin to it. You know, usually you have the traditional cannolis that, you know, of course you have amongst other desserts like after dinner. But I feel like this is kind of like a sweet meets a, I don't know, it's almost like cereal, but like in a cannoli style.
I like that. The cream is almost like your
Yeah,
milk, right?
exactly.
I really, really like that. So, again, I said I'm not a cannoli fan, and I'm not, but Impossible's Pizzeria, you just made me a fan of cannolis. I mean, when he told me he had Fruity Pebbles and Oreo, I said, we gotta do one of each.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, this is the time where I usually would switch with you, but I'm just gonna hold on to this. Is that okay with you?
And you're a chocolate lover too. Are you a chocolate lover?
Chocolate lover.
You are a chocolate
You know who's
lover.
not a chocolate lover? The person that didn't show up today, and that's Daria. That's right. That's right. We're going at you, Daria. In all fairness,
Peter's going after you,
in all
Daria.
fairness, Daria, you had like a million weddings. I get
Wow.
it. Miss Popular. All right.
Wow.
Will you be a new customer of Impossible's Pizzeria?
Absolutely.
102 Washington Street.
Absolutely.
Right there. Well, Nicolette, thank you so much.
Thank you, Peter, for having me.
Anything else you want to add about the delectable treats that we've had today?
I'm curious to know if they have any other, like, do they have drinks there too? Like,
Well, it's non-alcoholic.
Okay.
So they have your.
I mean, like milkshakes or.
That I'm not sure of. We'll just have to. You just
find
have to
out.
visit the menu. I don't think they do.
Okay.
But I have to tell you, when I asked Blair, who's again an extremely nice guy, what their most popular dishes are, he also brought up a cheeseburger that they serve.
Ooh.
So, but as you can see, you
Right,
know,
I
we're
know you don't-
basically out of
Right,
time here,
right.
To have all this food. So, but
Can't wait to try it.
exactly, Blair will be there. Nicolette Ayala, thank you so much.
Peter, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Folks, today's show was brought to you by The Dream Project. You can find out more information from our friends at The Dream Project at the link at the bottom of your screen. Join us next week for The Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancamano. You have a great week, everybody.
The Pulse with Peter B. is a proud partner of Eyes on NJ.